Today I caught my wife of nearly 4 years cheating on me. Bit of background. My wife was going on a night out with one of her girlfriends. Her friend picked her up and they went into town. Wife forgot her key. I needed to keep the back door unlocked. It gets to 1 a.m. I sent her a text saying don't be too late due to the door being open. No response. 2:30 a.m. still not home. At this point I start calling, but there is no answer. Fast forward to 8 a.m. 70-ish calls later and still no sign of her. I was very worried at this point. Backtrack a little, to around 1 a.m. when I notice on her laptop, which she left on, but on the lock screen, a notification of a Facebook message from a random guy telling her what bar she was in, but then no further messages. So then this morning she finally texts me to say she is at her friend's. I then check the laptop again and see an exchange of messages between her and said friend. I can't see what wife is saying, just friend's responses. The friend was asking if she was home yet, and when she would go home. She then asked wife, what is your story? I will make sure I stick to it. They then planned the story about why she had to take a taxi home, and friend was saying, don't worry, for all he knows you are here asleep in my spare room. After a few further messages, the best message of the lot was sent. So, how big was his dick then? I photographed all the messages. Later when wife returns home, at first I play it cool like I don't know what went on. She is walking around the house acting perfect, like nothing was wrong. Eventually I confront her and show the messages. At first she swore blind she was at the friend's house, and that I could call her to check that. Of course I could. They had already got their story straight. When I showed her the last message, she eventually admitted she was at this guy's house, slept in his bed, but nothing happened. I calmly left the house with her yelling at me to leave. 12 hours later, I am now not speaking with her or responding to messages. She started saying she did nothing wrong and that I was the one throwing it all away. Apparently me leaving was proof I never loved her. Now we are at the borderline emotional blackmail stage. Claiming she is heartbroken along with her son, not mine. He is from a previous relationship. I feel she is trying to make me feel bad about leaving, like I should go running back to her. She broke my trust, and for me that's the end. She still swears nothing happened between them. I don't have solid evidence they did sleep together, but I feel the evidence strongly points towards that. She wants to talk like adults and sort things out. In all honesty, I don't even think this is the first time she has done this. Now I know she is capable of it. How do I get past this? Currently I have zero intention of going back to her. I don't know what to do with myself. Any advice on how to handle this? TLDR, I am 99% certain she cheated. How do I move forward and handle this? Edit 1. I have had some requests for an update. There isn't much more to report. I am still away from the house, and we still have not spoken. Although I hear she still insists nothing happened. I still don't believe her. I spoke to her son last night. He was distraught. I spoke to him today, and he is doing better. I also text his dad to let him know. He sent a nice response back thanking me for being in the kid's life and for everything I have done for him. Tomorrow, I start the solicitor hunt. More updates to follow. Edit 2. It all kicked off today, but of a long update. After work I needed to call into a few shops at a local shopping park. When I returned, wife was there in the friend's car, blocking the driver door. She had the spare key and would allow entry. After giving plenty of warning, I called 101, police non-emergency line, on the advice of her mother, to report the incident. A few minutes later, the friend moved the car. Wife jumped in and wouldn't allow entry. She started the engine, rolled the window down and shouted, nobody upsets my son. This is your fault. I'm going to smash the car up. She then drove off. I dialed 999 to report the car still in finance in my name, registered in my name, etc. An officer arrived and after speaking with me said it was a civil matter and no crime was committed. The mother then called to say wife returned home without the car. The officer went round to question her. She refused to say where it was. Nothing was done. I have been out with a friend searching for the car. We heard a rumor it was in a car park in a small village about 20 miles away. We drove there to find it wasn't. However, we spoke to a policeman, different force, who out an ANPR check. The car was spotted 20 minutes after being taken, just outside of the town we live in. He also stated the other police force should have treated this as theft, and she should have been arrested. We didn't find the car, but tomorrow I will speak with the police again to push further on the matter. I may also post on UK legal advice about this. Update. Today I caught my wife of nearly 4 years cheating. I had so many supportive messages from you guys, so I'm sorry I didn't respond to all of them. I had some requests to post an update, and I felt the time is right now. After all this happened I was struggling. Depression started, and steadily got worse and worse. My ex recognized my weakness and tried to lure me back to her. This nearly worked, and I stupidly ended up sleeping with her a while back. That was a huge mistake which I regretted almost immediately. I was weak, and knowing that made the depression spiral even more. I went to the doctors, who diagnosed me with low mood depression. I am now on antidepressants to help keep my mind stable, which has helped massively. I managed to get my head straight and have started divorce proceedings. I have no doubt my ex will try and make this difficult. She is already seeking spousal maintenance from me. Not sure if that's a thing in the US. Bet here in the UK it is. She has been trying to get me to agree to make payments without a court order. I am refusing this based on the advice of my lawyer, and I am insisting this is worked out with a court order to give myself some protection. On the whole, life is good now. I'm still living with parents, but looking for my own place to move into. For the first time in a very long time, I'm feeling happy again. Life seems like it is moving in the right direction, and everything is falling into place. Another positive note is I have now met someone else, and it feels exactly how a relationship should be. She is kind, caring, loving, and supportive. She has a good career, and we share the same goals in life. It was unexpected, it just sort of happened, but it feels so right. Thank you to all the kind messages I got on the first post. They honestly helped me through one of the darkest periods of my life. I know it's not all over yet, and there will be more stress to come, but I can deal with it, especially with the amazing woman I now have by my side. Thank you all.